Hello, hello, world. What's happening? I am still Cam, and this is still the Real Resilience Talk podcast. This is episode 50. Number 50. And we got an amazing guest today with us, y'all. I really want y'all to just open your ears, open your minds. This is a great man I know, great champion of the subject that we all deal with, which is trying to make people better, make them their best selves, and how can we be resilient? I got my man, Mr. B, with me today. Everybody give it up for Mr. B. Yeah. What's up, man? And he's wearing a Raiders hat, so you know we ready. Yeah, we ready right here.
Represent we ready. Also.
He got to represent. That's what he's got to do. Hey, I just want to say before we get going, this is no endorsement of or from any official organization. These are just two car-carrying Americans using our First Amendment to express ourselves. So although we may reference certain things in our lifetime's experiences, this has no affiliation with any official organization, to include the DOD or anything else you might try to get me canceled for. Okay? So we just expressing ourselves. You know, like how people be on duty and they be wearing uniform and they be doing TikTok dances? Yeah. Shit like that. But this time we're going to talk about resilience, and you may hear some bad words, but I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you hear some good words. Okay, so without further ado, man, got my man Mr. B on the line with us today. How you doing, brother?
Great. Yourself?
Hey, man, I can't complain. Sun shining, no one shooting at us. Yeah. You know, that's kind of my gauge for the day. I can't say I always feel good about the day, but I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking, man. You know how I like to do? First thing I do, come out the gate swinging. I always ask. We talk about this resilience. Everybody, I'm looking at it right here. Everybody hits bad, you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how I always define it, right? Sam Cooke, keep moving on. But resilience is a complex word. It's got syllables and shit. And some people are like, I don't even know how to say that word, or I don't know what it means. So
I don't know how to spell it.
Same. I got to spell check it every time. I got to right click that one. They get a little red underline. I'm like, I messed that one up. But I can say it real good. But in saying all of that, talk is cheap, action is everything. Resilience, brother. What is resilience to you?
So, I'm a avid listener of your podcast.
Thank you.
So I know that's one of the questions you've been asking everybody, and everybody does have a different answer. And nobody has really given you a text answer, so I'm not going to start it now. But for me, resiliency, and I was an 8411 for the people that don't know out there. A recruiter, so I like to use analogies here and there, right, to match words. But resiliency to me is hope.
Hope.
The reason I say hope is because yesterday I just came from Modern Warrior Live. It's a great show. If it's near you, I recommend watching it. And again, no endorsements, but it's a great show. Great show.
Modern Warrior Live, is that right? Okay.
Modern Warrior Live. It's like a musical. So if you like music, it's a great show for you. Right. But it's about resiliency. And when I was there, I was thinking of the word hope. Because to be resilient, you have to be strong. You have to push through it. And the word hope for me is pushing through. That there is a little sliver of... that door is cracked a little bit for you to go ahead and open it. So that's why I say hope.
I love it, man. I love it. It remind me of the mental image I got is like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
I know a good sergeant major that I've served with, and he tells everybody when they get to these higher ranks, like, you have to be the light at the end of the tunnel for your people, right? Yeah. And it's such a good way of fitting it, but to have that little, like you said, just even the sliver of hope. Yeah, that's deep. I like that, man. We never had that one before. I've never had that one on here before, so I like that. And talking about hope, I mean, shoot. What reminds me of is when General Smith had said in that one video message, and he talked about, suicide prevention and preventing it and making permanent decisions. But he said, if the sun's coming up tomorrow, which it is, then there's a reason to have hope.
Yes.
And to me, it just like there, the light at the end of the tunnel, the sun coming up tomorrow. That's where it took me, man. That's where it took me. I appreciate that, dude.
And I know it took me a little while to explain why hope, but that's just, again, resiliency is such a deep word.
Yeah.
That there's no cookie cutter answer for that resiliency word.
100%, man. I couldn't agree more. And I think that sometimes our problem is that we're looking for cookie cutter. We're looking for perfect. And I don't know anybody, man. I even watched LL Cool J this morning. I was watching him on a reel because LL Cool J's always motivated me. But he had said that, like, you just start and then you figure it out. And, you know, in the line of maneuver warfare, we go for 70% solutions and then we'll figure the rest out because that's just how life's got to go. So, you know, you can't get cookie cutter perfect all the time.
And, you know, when I was in, and you're probably going to ask me, you know, my background, but I used to say a saying, Semper Gumby. I still always used to tell that to my Marines, Semper Gumby, Marines. And that's right. I kind of dated myself, but, you know, Semper Gumby, always flexible.
Always. And for those who don't know, because I'm not lying to you, I was serving overseas and I had a Marine, an NCO, and I'm actually looking on my bulkhead right now. I have on my wall for civilian world out there. But for my naval terminology, folks, on my bulkhead, I got a picture of Gumby holding a rifle, and it says Semper Gumby. This Marine, great guy, he had been around for a long time, but he did not know. He's like, I know the context, but what is Gumby? So you want to break that down for the folks out there?
Yeah. You know, Gumby was, you know, turned into anything and everything. Like, you know, he was maybe, I don't know how tall he was, but, you know, cartoon. Oh, it wasn't even was it a cartoon?
No, it was like claymation.
Yeah, claymation. So he was a little tiny, you know, maybe 2 inches tall, but, you know, he could reach super far because he just extended himself like go gadget, go.
There it is.
But go Gumby.
Inspector Gadget. That's it. Go Gumpy. Yeah, before Inspector Gadget ever was, he was already go Gumpy, and y'all. Meaning that he was adaptable, he was flexible, and so was his little crew he used to roll with, the little Gumby folks. But that's when we say Semper Gumby, which Semper is Latin for always. So we're saying always remain flexible, always adaptable. I mean, essentially, it's what Bruce Lee talks about be water, my friend. You know. You gotta flow with it. You gotta roll with it. But since we're on the topic, I do want to ask you, background. What's your background, brother?
So, you know, I joined the Marine Corps in 96.
96!
At 96, I became I went open contract.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be that 03 hump a lot, right? But I joined when I was 17. And my parents were like, hey, we ain't signing no contract for 03. So I was trying to find loopholes. You know how us Marines, we find loopholes. So
being flexible.
Exactly. So I was like, well, how could I get there? He's like, well, you go open, but open means anything. So so I was like, all right, well, here we go. I just want that title, United States Marine, you know? So
that's right.
So I went, and actually I went to comm school. I was a wire dog.
There
so
it is.
I call myself a dinosaur now because there's no more wire dogs anymore. So that MOS is completely out of the thing. So originally from a little town called San Juan Bautista, California, in like the Central Coast near Monterey, California, Salinas, what we call the salad bowl. Because
salad bowl.
If you look at any of your lettuces that you buy from the stores, like the little lettuce bags, you'll see in the back, it'll say Salinas, California, Watsonville, California. Gilroy, California is the capital or garlic capital of the world. So there's a lot of produce that is done there in that area. So again, went there, Marine Corps, 29 Palms. I was on the MEU for a couple deployments. On the 11th MEU, the Pride of the Pacific.
Pride of the Pacific.
Pride of the Pacific, like I mentioned, did a few deployments. After that, I went to RS San Francisco, become a gunfighter, which is a recruiter. Vacaville, California. I was in Vacaville, California. And then from there, I went to Okinawa to 7th Com. And then I did base telephones and back to Lejeune here. And then I retired out of here. So now I work as a civilian. And, you know, I'm going to touch a little bit. You know, I was also suicidal. Right?
Y'all heard that? Yeah. So look, this man I'm looking at you and just the way you present yourself, the way you've come forward so far in this conversation. I'm going to be honest, bro. Since I first met you, you look like a man who has it all together.
Well,
and then just very much in the comma, you're very welcome. But in that comma, pause, Semper Gumby, all of that you've already said, right? And I know you live it and I know you live up to it, but you just slid in there. I was what?
Suicidal. Yes. So that's why, you know, I'm 47. It was just my birthday a couple of weeks ago.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Feliz. And I'm sorry if I go like Spanglish because, you know, I am.
I love it.
I am Mexican, so I'll probably go a little Spanglish here and there,
Bring it.
But
We all about it.
and actually, today's El Dia de los Muertos, November 2nd. So,
Look at that.
Day of the Dead today. So, so like I was saying, I couldn't find a job. I was like, man, I'm calm. What the heck?
Yeah.
I got all this, networking, blah, blah, blah stuff, and I still can't find anything, WTF, what's going on here? So my first gig was a car salesman. We're not endorsed by anybody, so I'm not going to mention who it was.
So when you left active duty, you went straight to being a car salesman.
Yes, after I applied countless positions, and everybody said N to the O, no. So I was just like, oh man, like everybody was giving me the hey, talk to the hand because the face ain't listening, right? So I was like, no. So again, I was like, well, I was a recruiter. How hard is it to sell cars? Which being in a military town, it's not really that hard. But it was just, if people, not necessarily complain, but if people say, man, being in the military is difficult, nothing compared to being a car salesman. Like, first of all, that stigma of, people are going to be doing this, that, they're going to rob me, and that's why I left, because I didn't have the integrity. We would have like young Marines come over and be like, hey, I want that brand new Mustang. I'm like, what rank are you? PFC? I'm like, bro, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just retired. I know PFC isn't going to afford that payment. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, let's go to the used car sales. And I used to be not necessarily ridiculed, but I used to get little stern talkings. But again, being a Marine for 20 years, those stern talkings to me was like, okay, whoopee. You know what I'm saying? Right there. So I tried to look at things positively. I looked at it like I'm doing something positive because somebody's saying you shouldn't do that. But I should, because, again, he's a human. I'm a human. I don't want to have the gunny, stats aren't coming, like, who sold you that vehicle? This guy did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so it wasn't for me. It wasn't. The whole time I was looking for gigs in the civilian sector. So I finally got my first gig at an Air Force base, at Cannon Air Force Base, which is it's kind of similar to MARSOC,
right?
ASOC. So I got to go out there in the middle of New Mexico. Beautiful. The only thing, I went by myself because my wife is a school teacher here in the Jacksonville area. Again, I'm not going to mention schools, but she's a school teacher, and being a veteran, it's a lot more difficult than having active duty where you have priority, and I'm just putting air quotes, priority. Yeah. So we were like, we'll just treat it as a deployment. I'm not getting shot at, so it's all good. You could call me whenever. I'll have my phone with me. And that's when I started seeking mental health, when I was in New Mexico. Like, New Mexico, it's called the land of enchantment for a reason. It's so gorgeous. But that's when I started going through the VA and getting mental health especially because now I was away from everybody. And those suicidal thoughts came back to me. Yeah. Even though, yes, I was working, but there's nothing like when you just go to your room by yourself. Yep. And you're looking at four walls like, what the WTF, right? And again, I could have taken my family with me, but middle of New Mexico isn't a place to raise kids. So it's a place for you to recognize and see yourself internally. Right. And I did that thanks to the VA. So I was awarded, again, I will mention this organization, because if it wasn't for this organization, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So it's Rebuilding Warriors. Rebuilding Warriors. They awarded me a service animal. So I have a service animal with me. So her name's Titan. And the whole time in New Mexico, I was there for 3 years. Ooh, Rebuilding Warriors did me wonders. So I'm thankful.
That's a good tangible tool.
Say again?
That's beautiful. That's just a good tangible tool. I love it because there's a lot of people stuck in that moment right now where maybe they're already out or they're on the other side of the gate, and that's exactly what you're describing. You're somewhere else. You're remote. You're not in your normal spaces. Lack of connectedness. You're not near your. This is not uncommon. This is a very common thing to what you're talking about, and I appreciate you sharing it. But you call it rebuilding warriors.
Yeah, rebuilding warriors. Yes.
Thank you for that, and I appreciate that.
It's a nonprofit. They're based out of Texas, but they serve all veterans all over the United States. So again, through the VA, I remember my mental health professional was like, "Have you ever thought about having a service animal?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was still in that phase of like, I don't want to change, but I know that change is good.
Yeah, that
word hope.
It is.
I didn't want to. I was like, no, there's no hope. Why? But once again, though, now I'm so blessed. She's with me. I don't take her out as much because she is getting older. She is a German Shepherd, so I prefer for her to live the whatever years she has left of her life here at the house. When I come home, she's wagging her tail, waiting for Poppy to come home. So that to me is enough. And everywhere I go, I always think about her. So it's kind of like, it gives me like, when I get home, guess who's going to be there for me? Yes, my wife and kids, but Titan, she gives me unconditionally love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, I finally found a gig in Monterey. I became the suicide prevention program manager. I was there for a moment, but my real love, we all know, once a Marine, always a Marine. So that Eagle Globe and Anchor was calling my name again. So now I'm at Cherry Point as a primary prevention integrator. So, which I love because I get not necessarily just suicide, but all those harmful behaviors and try to squish them, try to, demolish them, try to do everything to take those harmful behaviors out that we have in the Marine Corps.
I appreciate that, brother. And I thank you for your whole family's service sacrifice. You said that your wife is a teacher, man. No, seriously, that's a big deal. And that's a thankless job and a job that, obviously it's not making, you're not an NFL football player as a teacher salary, right?
It's supposed to be, yes.
It's a job of service and it's a job of making a difference in our community. And I know that she's planting seeds, and all of the teachers out there are, for trees that may blossom, that will provide shade that we'll never sit in because you just are doing things that are affecting not only the now, but the later. And then what you're doing on the day-to-day to help warriors, right, and their families with trying to prevent harmful behaviors, which most people, when they hear harmful behaviors, they automatically will think, oh, okay, there's death by suicide, there's violence, and there's probably some form of sexual assault or something. But it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that. We have so many small ones that lead to other ones that lead to other ones and then another ones. And then before we know it, we're in that downward spiral. If I could ask, like, what's been a through line in what you've seen? Because I know everybody is unique as their fingerprint. I talk about that. But I do believe that us as humans, and especially as service members, we're more alike than we are unalike. So we have more in common. But has there been a common trend in the harmful behaviors of maybe what leads somebody to them or brings them into that downward spiral, if you will?
And again, it's just my opinion, right? Kind of like the resiliency. What is your definition of resilient? Yeah. Personally, I think the connectedness. Once somebody loses that connectedness, the mind starts wandering. And unfortunately, a lot of Marines, and I know you mentioned this, aces. A lot of them have a lot of aces, right? I've only known you for a short period of time, but you say you have more aces than the casinos have, right?
That's what we got, yeah. And first childhood experiences, we have them, and a lot of us do. And Marines especially are drawn to service to join that family, But like Sergeant Major Wreaths has said, it can't be just a talking point. We have to live up to this family idea, and I think we can, because blood makes you related, but love makes you family, and that's what the Marine Corps is. That's what we are for each other. But people, as you're describing, can lose that connectedness.
Yes, and I know this is about me, but I want to say this is about you, actually. Like, I came out here because of you. Like,
what? Thanks,
when I've seen you at the suicide conference here on Camp Lejeune, I actually even before that, because again, I was suicide prevention program manager at DLI, Defense Language Institute. And, I still follow the Marine Corps. And this was when you were in Cooney. And I was like, oh, man, he's doing great things over there, right? So I still, followed people. And you were an example for me to be who I am now.
Man, I appreciate
that. So I want to say, hands to you, right? Like, I know you try to make this all about us, but this is about you. This is about you, right? Like, you bring number 50, 50, the big 50.
50.
Bring us all. Yeah, you bring us all together, right? So back to that connectedness, right? You are that glue.
Thanks, bro.
For all of us, right? And that's why I decided to do the podcast, because I was like, you know what? He's a motivator. I'm going to go out here and try to motivate some folks, right? You're
motivating me right now, if nobody else. So thank you.
Mentioned, well, thanks. You mentioned, other folks, generals and stuff like that, but the real hero is you. But I know what you're going to say. Real heroes don't wear capes.
That's right. They don't.
So, but back to that connectedness. Connectedness, I think, is what makes us all together. And as a veteran, and I'm just speaking from the veteran perspective, once you hang up those boots, I threw mine on that power line. People forget. Not necessarily forget about you, but are like, oh, yeah, like, what's going on with him? And you stay away from, you're around Marines. Well, in my case, I was around Marines all the time. And now that I'm a civilian, crusty, old looking, everything, it's like, oh, who's here for me, right? So we had to find a new connectedness. And
thank you for saying that. Please, y'all hear that out there? Because I know sometimes, I don't want this to turn into a niche type show or niche type genre. This is about resilience. This is about people helping people. But you can see that these are two human beings, two males by chance, by chance. But you can see that these things are applicable to all domains of humanity, especially for us in America, but across the world. People need people. And what he's saying is that you need, after one mission, and it's similar to what Jocko has said in the past, you have to find that next mission of connectedness, that next thing of service. And I don't care if you wanted it to begin with, it's a part of you now. And I think there are so many of our brothers and sisters that leave a certain world, if you will, whether it's, your wife being connected within the school system or, police officer being connected in that, or someone being connected in their union of where they work every day, a firefighter, et cetera, down to what we're talking about in our example of being Marines. You leave that and now you're disenfranchised because you're not connected anymore. And that doesn't mean you have to go back you can if you want to. Of course, we want you want your service, right? Talent management. But you have to find what you're describing right now, and we need that connectedness. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're an introvert or extrovert. People need people.
Yep. Amen. Preach on, right? And I found that connectedness through church. And again, I'm not saying you need to go to church or not go to church, because everybody's different, right? Back to the example, resiliency. What is resiliency? You had 49 other shows.
That's right.
All different answers. My connectedness is through church and through people like yourself.
Thank you.
That's how, and so again, my suicidal part. I used to be on social media all the time.
Right.
And that's when, again, I'm not going to mention names because he didn't want me to mention his name, but I got a phone call one day when I was about to do it. Like, hey, how's everything going, Guns? Because I was a gunnery sergeant, so they call me Guns. And I understand Guns is not on the warrant, but, they used to call me Guns. How you doing? And I'm like, great. And, as you could tell, I'm a big Oakland A's fan, right? I'm a big Oakland A's fan.
You got it right there, Oakland A's.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm kind of upset that they're leaving Oakland, but that's another story for another day.
We're going to dedicate a whole episode to that, y'all.
Exactly. Yes. Resilient hope that they might go back. But anyways, so he's like, I'm like, everything's cool, man. Blah, 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 blah. I've been staying up late to watch Oakland games because I'm on the East Coast, undisclosed location, but I'm on the East Coast. And I'm like, man, I have to stay up late to watch my Oakland A's play. He's like, all right, are you sure? Because, you used to like heart stuff and everything else, like stuff. And I haven't seen you start doing that no more. And I'm like, I looked around. I'm like, I don't have cameras in my, inside my house. Like, WTF, right? And that's when, like, the little light came on, was like, you know what? I'm going to go seek help. 1. 2, that must be a sign from above that I still have something left to do in this world.
For sure.
And in my office, and I share my story because in my office, I'm a big sticky guy. I have a lot of yellow stickies everywhere with little notes because I am getting kind of old, so I forget.
Yeah. You ain't alone in that one, man. I do the same thing. That OLD hits us all, man.
Yes, exactly. Father Time is, he has a perfect record, right?
Undefeated, dog.
Undefeated. But one of them is stories save lives.
Yes.
And that's my life purpose.
Yes.
To tell my story.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you heard me speak at when, again, I don't mean to brag about myself, but my base won the suicide prevention for the Marine Corps, right?
Yes, and did. Cherry Point, say something. There it is.
When I got up there, I shared my story, right? Because again, somebody that was in the audience could resonate with what I was saying.
That's right.
Somebody, right? You mentioned Sergeant Major Wreaths earlier. Our Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, right? And I say "our" because once a Marine, always a Marine, right?
Once a Marine, always a Marine. That's right. It's ours.
Yes. I follow him, and I challenge Sergeant Major. I know he listens to this podcast, so I'm throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? Take your shot while you have it. I haven't seen him go to Cherry Point yet. I've seen him go everywhere else but Cherry Point, Sergeant Major. I'm looking at you, Sergeant Major. You know what I'm saying?
He's coming. He wants to come to Cherry Point.
Building 232.
Snap. He gave you the address too, and it won't be. But it's on a base, so it won't be next to building 231 or building 233. It'll be next to building 8034, and you're like, why? I don't know.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Confused, the enemy will always be confused.
Yes, exactly. Or next to the shopette without gas, right? And it looks like there's supposed to be gas there, but there's no gas.
But there's no pumps. Yep.
Yeah, no pumps. So
strategy is strategy, y'all.
Exactly. To try to keep the adversary from like, oh, here's 231, 232. Oh, that's on the other side of the base. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case is. Land nav, right? Yeah. Land nav.
Oh, man, did I suck at land nav. Let me tell you, Saturdays are overrated for anybody who knows what I mean. Saturdays are overrated. Saturdays are what you give up and lose when you fail land nav during the week, so you have to go do it on Saturdays. So Saturdays are overrated. I don't need them. But I'm cutting you off, man, from what I just totally derailed that with like
it's all good.
Map jokes about bases because none of them make sense.
And it's not just necessarily this base, it's all the bases. You know what I mean?
All of them.
And it's all branches. Again, I worked for the Air Force and I worked for the Army, and it was the same thing. Building 1 in the middle, but then there's building 500 or whatever the case is, and I'm like, I was like, oh.
What about 2?
Yes.
Should we try 2?
Exactly, yeah. Shouldn't this building next to the right be 2, 3, so on and so forth? But so like I was mentioning, we all have those type of people, right? So for me personally, Sergeant Major is a great example of resiliency, of hope.
Yes.
And again, I'm not trying to make this political, racist, or whatever, but
no.
For me, seeing a Mexican American, or he's actually Mexican, at the top of the mountain, is like, Roger, we could get there.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful.
Hope.
It's beautiful. It's hope. And that representation and hearing and seeing different examples from people coming from different backgrounds, you never know who that's going to resonate with. That's why, to the point you were expressing with, what you might be saying may touch that one person. They may hear it from me and hear it a whole nother way. Yeah. Or maybe there's, some kid that's of a similar background as me. I'm wearing right here. I'm repping it right here. I rep it. Look, Commonwealth Challenge. I appreciate y'all still. I shout out to the challenge programs across the country, giving at-risk youth a chance. That's where I got my GED at. But I represent that because somebody else may feel like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. But when we see symbols of real, genuine warriors at those mountaintops, like what you're describing with Sergeant Major Ruiz, that's inspiring for everyone, but especially those who share the same uncontrollable factors as them. So I don't think that's political. I don't think that's racist. That's real. That's real. And he's a symbol of resilience and a symbol of, like you said, that sliver of hope.
Yes. And, again, I follow him a lot. I'm not I don't want to be known as the stalker, right? But
no, I'm a big fan too, man. I'm a big fan, boy. If I ever see him, I pull out my phone and be like, selfie. I got to get a selfie. And,
yes.
But yeah.
Well, I haven't had that opportunity yet. Hopefully one day, right? I threw the challenge out there. But anyways, because my parents, he mentioned earlier in our ages, and I'm going to, put you in our group because, you're not young. You know what I'm saying? Mental health was looked at very, very badly. Yes. And still to this day, it depends what nationality you are. For example, like me, like I mentioned earlier, I still seek help.
Yeah.
And my professional person that I go speak to in my community is known as El Doctor de los Locos, right? The crazy doctor. Which, again, that connotation of, okay, why can't we just call him a professional, mental health professional? Why do we have to say Doctor de los Locos? Un doctor. Why don't we just say doctor? Like, why do we have to use that word loco?
Yeah.
And that is, and once you tell somebody over and over, Doctor de los Locos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Over and over your whole life just hearing that.
Yes. It's going to stick inside our little peanut brain that we all have, right? And it's never, the peanut, all it knows is Doctor de Locos. It doesn't know any other word for that. And that's part of what I love to do now. I love to break those stigmas that are out there for those harmful behaviors.
Yes. No, I love it, man. That's a job of service, and I'm so grateful. And he's not going to brag, but what he's doing is making such a difference. And look, ladies and gentlemen, we'll never be able to fix everything in the whole wide world. It's just, it will never be perfect. It's not what this planet, this place ain't made for that. But I'll go and quote a leader of mine who said, when he talked about suicide prevention and preventing death by suicide, Colonel Spot Brennan, one of the greatest men I've ever known, he said, we'll never be perfect on this subject, but we can damn sure be better. And what you're doing down there in your sphere of influence is you're making things better. And I've seen it firsthand, and I've heard genuine testimonies of you being there for people and getting them better, not just for the mission, not just for, the Marine Corps per se or Cherry Point, but for them and for the quality of their life, making them better. And here's the thing, y'all, if we can make a better human, if we can help somebody reach their full potential and sustain this transformation, or maybe even enhance this transformation and have our Marine Corps total fitness and have somebody strong spiritually, socially, physically, mentally, well, we damn sure going to make a more lethal warfighter, aren't we? That's just hand in hand right there. But what holds us back sometimes with being ready and staying ready, and why I don't know the exact stat, but what I've heard is 70% of the male population in our country, if we had a draft right now, would be unqualified for service. Because their total fitness is not there. Because they're not being their best in the social, in the physical, in the spiritual, and in the mental. They're not. We're not living up to our full potential. So that's why I love the leadership and leaders like you and influencers in society who are not just, thank you, not just out there doing it to meet a certain quota or to meet a certain block or to meet you are trying to make people the best versions of themselves. And that's why me and you connect so much, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is help people. What my friend Matt said in episode 12 or 14 back a while ago, Matt Carnell, he said, extract full potential, EFP. How can we help people extract their full potential? Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be as good as Mr. B, or maybe he'll be as bad as me, because our potential may be different in certain areas. But how can we reach our full potential? And these harmful behaviors, they're holding us back. This lack of connectedness is holding us back. This stigma of sitting there saying you're only going to the crazy doctor, or there's something broken, there's something, like, we are all broken just a little bit in some way. And if you're not, you will be. That's how life works. But I just say thank you to you, man, for letting people know, and a king. And that's how I look at you, man, just a fellow king out here in this world trying to do it right. But Marcus Aurelius has said, don't be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill, just like a soldier on the wall of battle. So what if you were injured and can't climb up without another soldier's help? So what? Right? Another person to be able to help you. And honestly, y'all, please understand this. There are so many good people like this man, Mr. B, and so many others that want to help you. But here's the thing. We're not mind readers. So you have to speak up. You have to. But you also have to take notice sometimes that you get those friends, like your friend that hits you up while you're watching the Oakland A's game and go, hey, man, I seen you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. Something's off. But it wasn't a manager, it wasn't a supervisor, it wasn't a doctor that called you. It was a friend that you're connected to, and we cannot I can't overstate how important connectedness is with people. We need people. And sorry, I know that was a rant. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. You know what I mean? Like, you took the words out of my mouth more eloquently than what I could say, right? Like, you say you have a GED. I do. I have farm, working in those lettuce farm education. You know what I'm saying? I have
farm.
Yeah, I got farm education. But one thing, yesterday, again, I went to go watch Modern Warrior Live.
Modern Warrior Live.
We have to become vulnerable.
What you mean by that?
Once I opened up, I learned that my story makes an impact.
Yes.
So I became vulnerable. As Marines, I know it's difficult sometimes because, yes, the Marine Corps is the best organization out there. We're going to be 249 years this year. Next year, 250. I can't wait to go to the ball. I've been slimming down, right? Because I'm going to be at the number 250.
250.
The 250. But once I become vulnerable and knew my faults, I became better.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the same mindset of I am invisible. Again, you mentioned heroes don't. I don't wear a bulletproof vest. None of us do.
No.
So once you become vulnerable,
yeah,
that's a switch for you to become a better person. I believe again, and I'm just speaking for me. Once I became vulnerable, now I cry with my wife. Now I do. I tell my kids I love them. I hug them.
Yeah.
That's because I became vulnerable.
Yeah. Y'all hear that? Being vulnerable, being genuine, being open. But I actually got the line from you, right? I've always said it's okay not to be okay, right? But you said it best. And this is what I'm talking about, impacting where you are at. You never know, y'all, the impact of your actions. Because I know I've quoted you so many times on here.
Oh, thank you.
But no, thank you for it. Just if it makes sense, I'm saying it. I'm a regurgitate. I don't really have no original thought. I'm just regurgitating other people's stuff. So you're part of who I've plagiarized. But you said it publicly. You said it's okay. It's okay not to be okay, but not to stay that way. It's not okay to stay that way. And man, that hit on so many levels. What I think about.
I got the chills.
I call them truth bumps, not goosebumps. But they're truth bumps because there's so many people that have held themselves back, right? Or have only been operating like at a 65% output because they're letting these things, all the things of not being vulnerable, all the things of the stigma or of the, the way they were raised or maybe culture or their culture taught them a certain thing about this, to think about that, to say this is soft, this is weak, this is this, this is that. What's really weak is not living up to your full potential. Yes. That sucks, and what really sucks is getting to the end and knowing that you could have been more and that you could have done better. And there's no time like now to switch that up. So I scream as loud as I can to anybody out there who's not living to their full potential. Reach out for help. Help people help you by speaking the fuck up and opening your mouth and letting them know. And that's hard. And sometimes you don't even know how to put it into sentences. You don't have to put it into words. You don't know how to convey it. And that's where we got to take care of each other, our tribe. Now, again, can't fix the whole world, but can you affect those around you, right? The situation you're in, the people you're in, the Marines or the people, the humans, the people in your shop, the people in if you work at Taco Bell and you're a shift supervisor, the people on your shift, can you take care of them and be cued in on them to try to help them be their best selves? I think if we all did that a little bit, it's that steel sharpens steel, like it or not, we're all we got. Agree.
You mentioned my little saying, I stole it from somebody else as well, right? Again, I'm like you. I got field education, right?
Yeah.
The good old California education. Every time I talk to Marines in a group, I always tell them, Marines, it's okay not to be okay. It is. I'm not okay 100% of the time. Show of hands. Who's okay 100% of the times? And literally nobody raises their hand. But you know what, Marines? It's not okay to stay that way.
Not okay to stay that way. And I've had people say why. I've been asked that before, and I think it's a fair ask. Why would you say it's not okay?
because back to, earlier, those demons, and I don't want to call them demons, right? Because everybody is different, right? But those thoughts, it's kind of like a pile of poop. Mm-hmm. It keeps adding up, and that pile of poop eventually is going to fall. Mm. And I know you're going to ask me a question later once we're about to be done, so I don't want to answer right now. But once you're there, what are you going to do? Right?
At that breaking point, you mean?
At that breaking point. It's a fork on that road. Are you going to go left or are you going to go right?
Yeah.
So, and again, little tease for everybody. We'll wait until the end to answer that question.
I like it. So you better keep listening, folks. And there's no ads because this makes no money. This show is sponsored by nobody. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'll say that for later too. But in all sincerity, man, like there's that downward spiral, and I've been there before where I've been suicidal, and we allow. Now, things happen and circumstances that we don't ask for happens in life. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to say everything is all our fault. Please don't hear me wrong, people. But we have choices to change things as we're downward spiraling and to hit a change step somewhere. And what I'm hoping is before we're at that bottom or before that shit is stacked so high it's about to fall over, how can we get to a point ahead of time, staying left of bang, to say, I need to have an intervention in my life. And it may come in the form of a counselor. It may come in the form of a medical. But it also could come in the form of maybe you go to church. Maybe you join a group. Maybe you go and play a recreational sport and have connectedness with people. But before we get to that point, because when we're at that point, this is proven. People's ability to make good cognitive decisions is not there. Your decision making is impaired when you have had long-term untreated anxiety and depression. You will think a bad idea is a good idea, right? It's just the same way as somebody being intoxicated. But here's what we do. Here's how we make it worse. And this is why I say it's not okay to stay that way. And I agree with you, is that you will be tempted to eventually maybe put something on it. What do we do in our culture? We drink. We don't just drink, we drink. And people go, Rico born in a bar, so I hang out at a bar. You know what? I was born in a hospital, but I don't hang around in hospitals, right? Shout out, Sandy. I took that from you. But it's the truth, right? So a lack of healthy outlets, a lack of connectedness, a lack of healthy distractions sometimes leads to someone already not in their best state of making cognitive decisions, right? Because of the depression, because of the circumstances, because of the stress they didn't ask for. Maybe let's throw some ACEs on top of that, adverse childhood experiences. So maybe your prefrontal cortex didn't fully develop like everybody else's. So maybe you're dealing with some shit inside of you, right? You ain't dealt with your shit. Now your shit's going to deal with you. And the thing that we think is a good idea, and I've been there too, so I'm not casting stones, is I'll get drunk tonight and that'll make it better. No, what that can do, and I've said this in that poem that I read often, what you're doing to take the edge off may lead to you taking your own head off. And you just made all that math stack up to a bad equation and to a bad result, which is, I think we could save more lives if we could step in, be like that friend that you had, call and say, are you good? But also for yourself to go, oh shit, something needs to change. And I stole it from Theo Vaughn, but nothing changes if nothing changes, man. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So you have to switch it up, and there's no time like now to maybe switch it up so you can potentially be a better person. But like you said, share that story because stories save lives. And maybe your story, you listening right now, your story and you coming back could be everything that someone ever needed to hear to make them keep pushing forward too.
And, I'm glad and I'm going to, the stories portion of it. And I heard on one of your podcasts, on one of the other 49 podcasts, saying that people do negative comments on the podcast, which I'm baffled of why they do that. And the reason I'm saying this is because we're here to help folks.
Yes.
We're here for that person that needs us.
That's right.
We're not getting paid.
Nah, nothing. No, nothing.
No. None of us are, right? But we care about people. That's why we do stuff like this.
Yes.
So for all the folks out there that are being negative Nancys,
yeah,
or
negative Neds,
Bobs or Eds or whatever, right? Nothing against Bobs, Eds, or Nancys out there,
That's right, but don't be negative.
Yeah, don't be negative, right? Like, do something about it.
Yes. Yes.
What are you doing besides being negative or being that, what are they called? Keyboard warriors that just write negative stuff. What are you doing?
Yes.
To combat? And I don't know if combat is, because I hate, one thing I do dislike is when I hear football players like, hey, we're going to war. Like, bro.
That's not war.
That's not war. Trust me. You ain't getting shot at. You're not hearing freaking helos over your head. You're not, RPGs coming at you, nothing like that. So
literally scared to death.
Yes. Where, and I understand football is a very dangerous sport. I never played it. I played the other football, which, football. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I played football. So, and for the ones that don't know football, it's soccer, right?
Soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah, soccer.
So, all sports are dangerous, but it's not war.
No.
And for those, folks out there that are bashing, saying negative things, like, what are you doing to assist us in combating this?
Yeah, because it definitely takes all hands on deck. It literally to NFL. It takes all of us. They talk about it for ending racism. I agree. It takes all of us. It also to prevent suicide, to prevent harmful behaviors. It takes all of us, all of the time. And I just ask, to your same point, while you're saying they're commentating, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution?
Amen.
That's just what it boils down to for me. And I love how eloquently you said it, because it reminds me of what started this whole show to begin with, which was what Dr. Maya Angelou said. And she was a very controversial person in her time. And now we all quote her and we look at her like a hero, and she is, right? But while she was alive, it wasn't always popular, the things she said and the things she spoke power to, right? But she said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Really, she said, shut up. But, and that's where it goes. And I get it. There's a time and place to vent into this thing. But we really do have to realize and remember that hurt people, but healed people can help people. But realize this, healed people can also get hurt again, and they could turn them back into hurt people. And you just never know how your comment or your, touche or your little, smart, snarty. Like, I'm not saying we have to be all PC by any means. I'm all about the First Amendment. That's from going to church to saying a cuss word or expressing yourself with a microphone or drawing a picture or protesting. I don't care, right? I think it's strong and it's on all fronts, but I know it's your freedom to be an asshole, but like, really, do you have to be an asshole? Because you being an asshole that day could be the thing that pushes that one person to being hurt again and maybe not being so healed, and then just throwing it all out the window. Because I've been there before. I really have. Like, I've been there. You say about this show, some of the stuff on social media, some of the comments, some of the flack, some of the they posted videos of me sharing my story and some of the stuff on there, man. I've literally just been like, I'm throwing it all away. I'm done with it all. But I can't, because you know what I do know? And again, we all want in some way to affect like the populace, like a Dr. King, like have a Million Man March. But sometimes it's just to reach that one. And there's somebody listening to this episode right now as we speak, and we are speaking to them, and we are speaking to them to be a better version of themselves, to show up, to realize to be vulnerable it takes courage. It takes strength to say, I'm not okay. And then it takes courage and a whole lot of help, a whole lot of initiative to say, I'm not going to stay this way. Something's got to change, but nothing changes if nothing changes. So are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution?
Yes.
And I appreciate you bringing that up. I try not to be, controversial or get into like a, back and forth, but it's fair to bring up, and I wouldn't have brought it up, so I appreciate you bringing it up.
Well, again, yes, this is about Jose today, or Mr. B. Sorry.
Mr. B. Oh, like Mr. Bell, I'll say about a bell. Mr. B.
But it's about you. Like I said, I look up to you still, right?
I look up to you, bro.
To where you're at in this world, I'm just in awe of what you're doing, right? It takes a lot to have 50 episodes of resiliency and going strong, right? This ain't the last one.
Nah.
This ain't the last one.
No, sir.
You got a lot more to go.
For sure.
Right? So I appreciate everything you do, like I do, from the bottom of my corazon, bottom of my heart, just for all the people out there like, oh, he's talking Spanish.
No, I love it. You already told him you was going to educate us today, so I love it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? From the bottom of my heart, corazon. It means a lot to me, right? It does. That's why, I know you invited me a while ago, and it took me a little bit of courage to get on here because, again, the backlash, right?
Yeah.
But I said, F it.
Yep.
Like how you mentioned earlier, we could change one person. One person. That is amazing. Yesterday, we had a wellness fair at Cherry Point. We had that fishing tournament that I mentioned and the wellness fair. And we had 160 people, Marines, dependents, retirees that showed up for that wellness fair, right? There was an organization that's out of Eastern North Carolina that takes folks hunting, fishing, kayaking.
What's that called?
You know what? I'm going to have to email you and let you know.
I'll put it in the show notes because those organizations are so amazing because when you say like fishing and hunt, some people, like I say it often, but like if all you know for fun is to get drunk, watch Pornhub and play video games, then that's all you'll do. But when you can give someone an outlet and you can provide, like people that fish, they weren't born out of the womb like, I like fishing. No, somebody showed them it. Somebody taught them it. You know, those who are into carpentry had to learn it somehow. Of course, in today's world, you could Google these things, right? But to be that catalyst to bring them to something of this nature and what you're describing, a wellness fair, and it's not like, hey, we're just going to show you slides about Happy Talk. No. Hey, no, it's literally like, here's a tangible thing you can do. And even if you don't enjoy it, you enjoy the camaraderie of being with the other person while doing it. And again, connectedness, people need people. Social is part of the four domains of total fitness, right? I love it.
I don't quote me on it, but I think it's called North Carolina Fallen Outdoors Fallen Warriors Outdoors.
Yes. The Fallen Outdoor. Yep.
And you know what? The best part about it, it's FREE. Free.
Free. Y'all heard that? Free. What do you got to do to qualify for something like that?
You know what I'm saying? So it's all free. There was other things. I had one community, which is an organization out of Eastern North Carolina that has a lot of great resources. I had WIC out there, you know.
WIC was out there?
WIC. Yeah. And people are like, WIC, why we got PSCs and Lance Corporals that are barely making it. Yes. They need to go to WIC. It's yes. And I know sometimes it's hard to go ask for help. That's why I bring these organizations on the installation. So that way, those harmful behaviors that we were mentioning earlier. Yes. They're not there because now, I'm not struggling with finances no more. I could go to WIC and go get assistance, right?
Yeah.
And yes, and I'd be seeing sergeants just, I don't need it. Hold on. You might not need it, but one person that might need it.
They might need it. And that's another thing, too. People are like, I know this, I'm not good. Or I've heard people in rooms when I've talked about the prevention of suicide, like, I would never do that. I don't even know why. Well, you know what? First, never say never, because you never know. I said the same thing, and I downward spiraled, and whether it was because of religion or it was a sin or that's weak, for years, I said I would never do that. I was in my 30s by the time I actually made a really serious attempt and ideation at suicide. I could have never, like, I look at it now and I go, how could I even have thought to do that? But I'm in a different place. I'm in a different space. But I also have experience to know that I really did, for the circumstances, allow myself to fall, to downward spiral. And then I, like, sickeningly embraced it in a weird way because I was just so done. And then I was at a point where I was like, I'm a burden. They're going to be better off without me. And it wasn't because I wanted to one up somebody or I'll show them I'll go kill myself. No, I just wanted the pain to stop, man. Mm-hmm. And I was tired of dealing with myself and having people deal with me. And that's how I felt, and other people do it for the same thing. And oh man, it's so deep to me, but I promise you this too shall pass. You got to find that sliver of hope to just keep moving forward. And maybe the only reason why you move forward is so you can share your story and maybe it can inspire somebody else to keep moving forward and so on and so forth, because people never do anything on their own. So maybe you'll find that hope with fishing, or as it looks like in here, the Fallen Outdoors. Look into that. But if not for you, maybe it's for somebody else.
Exactly. So, to me, yes, we always want big numbers, right? Like, we wish we had more Marines there. But again, if I could change one person,
that's it.
To me, I could go to bed at night safe and sound, right? Yeah. If I could change one person's mind.
Yes. And some of these things we talk about on here, man, it may just be doing that.
Yes. And honestly, again, the courage, right? But tonight, I'm going to sleep very well.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I let it all out for you guys.
And we thank you for that, man. Everybody, I hope y'all out there clapping your hands. Not while driving. 10 and 2, 3 and 9, whatever
Safety.
it is.
Safety's paramount.
Safety. But it's all sincerity, man. Thank you. And you know, they say, I've quoted it before, because gratitude's one hell of a drug. It really, really is, y'all. It's part of mindfulness is to be grateful, right? On our worst day, somebody would love to trade places with us. And that doesn't mean play the comparison game, but it is to have some perspective and to have some gratitude for what and where and who you have and what you have, right? But these things we talk about on here, I mean, it may not make everything better, but will it make it worse? Nah, okay, try it, right? There's no perfection. There's no perfection. But I do want to say this, and I've said this before. If you admire someone, you should go ahead and tell them, because people never get the flowers while they can still smell them. And you know who said that? Kanye said that. And he goes through his own things, and you know, people can have their own opinions of it. You don't know that man's journey. You don't know what it is, but he said some real stuff right there that if you admire someone, you should go ahead and tell them, because people never get the flowers while they can still smell them. So I just tell you, thank you, man, for sharing the gratitude you shared to me. Thank you for being on here, and sharing, you know, being vulnerable to share yourself. But thank you for what you do every day. And I promise you it makes a difference. If for nobody else, it makes a difference for me. But I know from feedback we've gotten, and I've seen the impacts you've made, keep doing what you're doing. And you know what? Hey, whatever there's bright light, something is enduring burning. So if you're going to be a light, what is to give light must endure burning. But also, you know, things that are shine in the light, they can cast shadows. And some people don't like that. And that's okay. And maybe they'll come around later on. But I do got to ask y'all, please remember, or tell y'all, everyone you meet's fighting a battle you know nothing about. You know nothing about. Robert Williams said that. So be kind. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So you just don't know when you're over there with your little slick ass little comment that day, or your little, you know, being negative, and you've made yourself feel better. Man, you may have just pushed that person to the point of no return. That's not doing a service to this world, dog. It's not. So I want everybody to be mindful of that. That doesn't mean walk on eggshells and kiss everybody's ass. That just means be mindful and don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole, man.
Exactly. Because you never know what that person is going through. We're not Nostradamus. I don't know what you're thinking. You don't know what I'm thinking. Nope. So yeah, but how you mentioned, don't walk on eggshells. Be real.
Be real. That's
what
we need. That's why we're doing the show, because we can be real about it.
Yeah, one of the and probably this is the last thing I'm going to say, because I don't know what else to say, but I went through this primary prevention integrators forum, and we were talking to what would you say to newly appointed primary prevention integrators? And one thing I said is be genuine.
Genuine.
Be genuine at what you do.
Yes.
Don't do this for a paycheck. Because people could read you being not genuine or genuine.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. When I talk about my suicidal, you know, my background, I'm genuine about that.
Yeah.
And we have like little surveys that we give, you know, service members, like, hey, how was this class? Everybody, ever since I shared my story, everybody has said that class has been the best class that we've got, because it's a real life story.
Yes.
Like I mentioned earlier, genuine. My story is very genuine. Again, I might get bad feedback from this. It's all good. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't sweat it, man.
You know, you quoted Kanye. I'm going to quote Tupac.
Yeah.
Only God could judge me. Only God.
That's it. That's what he said.
You know what I'm saying? Only facts. God could judge me. Only God. Tupac.
That's facts, man.
So that's what I told the group, and the group was like, "Wow, that's a strong word. It is. Be genuine about your job.
Genuine.
Which we're here to eliminate these harmful behaviors. If you're not genuine, people are not going to follow you. People are not going to believe you. You know, again, I'm not trying to get religious, but, you know, Jesus Christ, he was genuine.
Genuine.
So, genuine. That's another word out there.
And if you're genuine and real, you might get some hate. I mean, hopefully you don't get crucified literally, but, you know, too often leadership's not popular, or what is needing to be said or done in that time is not popular. And, you know, I think I forgot what singer he is, great dude, but he had said that, you know, not all crazy ideas are great, but all great ideas are crazy, right? So don't let perfect be the enemy of good enough as you pursue being genuine and potentially helping someone else, right? Be of service. Everybody, we're so caught in this happiness thing, man. And I got to quote him again because I often do, but Dr. Viktor Frankl, I'm telling y'all, if nothing else, read that book, A Man's Search for Meaning. And it's not just about man as in male gender. It's man, old school talk, humans. So a human search for meaning is what they would call it if it was made in modern times. That's what he would say too. But he said, for success like happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue, and it only does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself, or as the byproduct of one's surrender to a person other than oneself. Dr. Viktor Frankl said that, man. So everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be successful. That's where it is. It's in serving others. That's where you can find the happiness, is in service to something bigger than you. Protecting this beautiful thing I got right here. Right here, that's Constitution, every single day. You know what I mean? Hey, you might not agree with it. You could be like Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill said, democracy is a horrible form of government. It's just that everything else is worse. So you may not agree with everything, and that's okay. And you know what? I might not like everything you say. You may not like everything I say, but I will die for your right to say it because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than us. It's about the cause, and it's about helping our people live their best lives. And our people come in all shades, shapes, sizes, heights, weights, all of that. But how can we make this place better, this life thing, instead of just being a commentator? Have y'all seen the TV lately? We don't need no more commentators. We got a lot of talking heads. But what are you doing to be what you're doing, which is what Mr. B's doing, being a force for good, a force for change, being a piece of light, a sliver of hope, a sliver of light in this world? I just got to ask everybody that. And I got to challenge myself with it every day because we got to continue consistently maintain momentum and maintain that hope and be genuine and real. And you know what? Not everybody's going to like it. And that's okay. But people can tell off the bat when you're not being genuine and real. So I say, like I always say, be firm, be fair, be there, and care. And if you're not and you're fronting and you're selfish, please reconsider, please reevaluate, please hit a change step. You can always change, no time like now. What they say, the Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next time is right now. That's what you could do right now. Switch it up. Switch the style up. And if they hate, then let them hate and watch the love pile up. Oh!
There you go.
I stole that one too. Hey, brother, I know we're getting towards the closing here. Unless you want to keep going, please correct me.
Good.
Okay. And you answered all the other questions I had because you just came out with it, so I appreciate that.
Well,
but I do have that one. No, and I thank you, man. Thank you for what you do every day to prevent people from making permanent decisions over temporary circumstances and helping them to be their best selves. Thank you. You make me better. I appreciate you. But sad news is, brother, we're losing people. We lost 72 just Marines last year, 62 active duty, 10 reserves, and there's countless more civilians and family members and our Navy, all Americans, everyone. Death by suicide is real, and it's affecting every culture, every demographic right now. If someone is listening right now and today they think that is a good decision, they're thinking about doing that, they're contemplating, hey, I'm going to take my own life for whatever their reason is, what would you say to that person if you could say something to them?
I would tell them, stop. Wait. Back to that resilient hope. There is hope. Yes. It might seem like no matter what, things will not change, but there is hope. There is hope. I know it's difficult at that moment to think there is hope, but there is. So just wait, stop, and wait. Because there is hope.
Man, that sun's coming up tomorrow, which it is. There's a reason to have hope. And if it's not, then we got way bigger problems than whatever's stressing us out, right?
Yes.
We might freeze before that happens if that sun don't come up. It's gonna be that'd be a cold day, let me tell you.
Yes.
But in all seriousness though, man, I mean, you're so right. Just stop and wait. And you can't see it right now. Oh, man, I've been there. And I'm sure we've all been there at some point in our life where we think this is going to last forever. From whether it's been boot camp or if you did some time somewhere, serving somewhere, or a day at work, or like, you're like, oh, or you got an injury and you got a cast on. Like, man, there's so many, you're hungry and when am I going to eat? Like, there's so many times you're sick, you're throwing up out of both sides. Like, there's so many situations in life and circumstances where it feels like it's going to last forever. But like you said, man, just stop and wait. This too shall pass. And I know I irritate a lot of people with that expression because some things can't be fixed. And you know what? Some people can't be brought back and some relationships can't be brought back, but you can find another one. Mm-hmm. There can be more people. And I want to remind people of this. You never know who is coming down the road of life. I share pictures of my little monkey. I got a grown adult daughter that's in the Marines, that's serving as a United States Marine. I have a middle child. Thank you to her. Thank you for her service. But I have a toddler, and I would have never known that toddler if I would have taken my life as I intended to do before, you know. And I got a middle child too. See, I already forgot about the middle one. Damn. But in all sincerity, though, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that was coming. And I've known so many people who have went through divorces, like the just horrible circumstances in life. And they've moved forward and they've eventually maybe met someone else. And they may not replace that exact person, but you have a different relationship. You have a new relationship. And again, I'm just trying to hopefully ignite some hope because this will pass. This time right now will pass. And maybe you're only going through this so that you can one day tell your story and it can save someone else.
Yes.
And man, that hit so hard. Stop and wait, man. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Mr. B, for being here, man. And I want to turn the mic over to you if you got any safe rounds at all, brother.
The only thing, and I know I already mentioned it, it's okay not to be okay. Ladies and gentlemen out there listening on whatever you listen on, but it's not okay to stay that way. There is help. 988. And if you're a veteran, after you dial that 988, hit 1. There is hope.
There is hope, y'all. That sun's coming up tomorrow, to which it is. And there's a reason to have hope. And that's quoting the great General Smith right there. Hey, again, Mr. B, thank you for your time. It's the most precious resource we have in this world because it's the one thing you can give somebody you can't get back. You can never get this time. You could give me a liver or a kidney and I could somehow give it back to you in modern times. They give me money, I give it back. But I can't give you your time back, man. So I just thank you for making this investment in others because the effect you have on others, as the great Jim Carrey said, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. And in that respect, you are a very rich man, and I love you, and I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Love you as well.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode, what number was it, Mr. B?
50.
50, baby. This was episode 50, man, and I thank you, brother, for being here. Everyone, appreciate y'all listening. If this is helping you or you think it could help someone else, man, please share it. Hey, but as always, this show is inspired by the First Amendment, inspired by Dr. Maya Angelou's words, but it is sponsored by nobody, baby. I appreciate y'all. Make good choices. Be firm. Be fair. Be there and care. Much love to you all. This too shall pass.